Hey Unlocked listeners. So first things first, the next season of Unlocked is just around the corner. Our theme, First Mover Status, will explore stories and techniques that earn people like you, owners and managers, huge advantages over your competition in this pivotal moment of our industry's growth. The thesis for this season is that those who are first to market with any number of business innovations will win disproportionately. We plan to showcase some of the best examples of this in order to inspire you to your next big unlock. Make sure you're subscribed to get notified of the first episode. And we'll be back thanks to the loyal support of our partners, Point Central, Smart Home Automation, and Breezeway, property care and operations platform. They both continue to lead their respective categories, and their team members want our listeners to succeed hard. Second, I'm thrilled to announce a new podcast in the growing VRMB Media Suite, and that's the Agile Approach, hosted by myself and Terry White. Each episode will interview one tech CEO and ask hard questions to get to the core of what can be done with this tool for owners and managers today, not in a pending release somewhere down the pipeline. But until the episodes drop, I wanted to mix things up a bit here on the Unlocked podcast and share with you a vacation rental experience I just had in Steamboat Springs, Colorado, visiting Robin Cragen and Heather, his wife, along with their team at Moving Mountains. Robin's been an incredible member and supporter of VRMB communities since the earliest days, but when he asked me what I learned on my visit that I didn't already know, I decided to put some thoughts into words. Enjoy. Together with my best friend Adam, we drove into Steamboat Springs, which feels like you're entering into a vortex. It's the second fastest growing mountain town in the country, with wide streets that used to be filled up with cattle, and steep mountains that rise up from behind buildings. As she explained how to arrive, Kelly at Moving Mountains was also explaining to me over the phone a few quirks about the home. Doors that open funny, how to turn on the fireplace, that sort of thing. Her style of communication was like an experienced waiter, there for anything you may need ahead of time, but quietly in the background if you don't. Our home was Rustler's Lodge, a chalet ideal for groups who want to explore the great outdoors, then come home in style. Everything was exactly as advertised, with the exception of the warmth you get the moment you walk in. We arrived in the evening. The lights were dimmed, the carpet was fluffed. A hot tub was preheated to 102. Clinically, this is what I refer to as the feeling of premium, that sensation that your host has thought of all the little things. This is what we strive for in our industry. It sets the tone for the entire rest of the stay. I joked that the booking process and the pre-arrival communication and the check-in was so seamless that I could have just as easily departed the next day happy, having experienced a kind of choreographed art, feeling that we were in highly capable hands. But more important than the home is the team and the culture of Moving Mountains. Every person you interact with gets it, which is to say, they anticipate. They're willing to go to any length to solve a challenge. They actually view these challenges as opportunities in their meetings. Shout out to Paul, who drove us in one of their own ski shuttles, which is included in the stay, by the way. I've never seen a vacation rental company do this before. Simply pop open your Moving Mountains app. You've got your own Uber, a wonderful example of how technology can be used to improve the guest experience without replacing the human side. The next morning, Moving Mountains referred us to an ice fishing company, where we met our guides, Tom, who's done the Iditarod 4 times, and Rich and his son, who have never done the Iditarod at all, but each of whom were somehow exactly as happy and energetic as one another. You see why these guys get along. We entered into one of the fishing tents on the lake that was heated and equipped with what looked like a miniature airport control setup. In the center, a flat-screen TV, and on the screen, a live image of our lure dangling through the hole in the ice below. Adam sat down immediately, started jiggling one lure, when a big trout came up, swiped once at the bait, then swiped twice, and on the third swipe struck the bait. This all taking place live on the television display. Here we were, 6 grown men in the middle of a freezing lake, Colorado, inside a tent, shouting like a shot gone off the crossbar, then a massive save, but then the goal. It was amazing. We were hanging out with the 3 coolest dudes in town. That evening, we had an in-home chef. We all recited poems in honor of the Scottish poet Robbie Burns, and we ended up the day in the hot tub recounting and planning our next trip. Adam and I have been through just about everything together. Studying abroad together, working at my father's shop, the sudden passing of his own dad. And we look back on life, what we really live for are those special moments that stand out. These memories or ups that far surpass any downs. And wow, when you think about the outcome of a job well done, what an incredible calling it is for a family company to bring those precious moments home. I arrived thinking Moving Mountains was among the greatest vacation rental companies in the world. But I'm starting to realize that as pioneers in this field, we are talking about some of the greatest hospitality leaders of our time. Make sure you're subscribed because the first episode of Season 8 of the Unlocked podcast, First Mover Status, is dropping in a few weeks.